Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Clown-versation. Today, I'm talking to the wonderful Petra Massey, who is a member of Spymonkey, one of my favorite comic theatre companies in the whole world, and also a wonderful performer with an extensive career that we're going to learn all about. So don't go away. Stay right where you are, and we'll be starting in just a moment.
It's just a conversation with a fellow clown. It's not very serious, we're clowning around. It's really just a clown-versation.
Yay! All right. If you're new to the Clown Spirit family, please subscribe to the channel. Say hi in the chat. Like the video. Share it with your friends. Let's share the love around, folks. At Clown Spirit, we take the power of clowning and we use it to bring light, joy, and connection to your life and the lives of everybody around you. So, our mission is to unleash as many clowns into the world as possible. And we're very serious. We're taking this mission very seriously. Now, for those of you who don't know about Clown X, before I bring Petra on, I just want to tell you a little bit about it. Last week, we had what is the fourth in the series of Clown X's that we've had since it started, way back in the misty past of last October. And we had the most incredible masterclass with Joe Diefenbacher. And anyone who was there will tell you, maybe there's some people watching right now who could throw some comments into the chat about how it went. I know, Mike, you were there. It was so good. Joe just did an amazing job at just teaching an incredible amount of craft within that 3 hours. And also just exploring this new territory of using the camera. And I think everybody got an awful lot out of that session. And I had some wonderful comments afterwards from students. And the next Clown X masterclass is equally exciting. We've got Avner Eisenberg, Avner the Eccentric, everybody. And he's going to be teaching a masterclass called Eccentric Essentials. Yes, David, thank you. David says it was great, got tons of practical info and ideas. Avner is going to be presenting his masterclass on March 5th, on Sunday, March 5th. It's going to be a 2.5-hour condensed intensive session with Avner, and he's going to be focusing on two elements in particular. The idea of how to create complicity, connection with the audience in the first 2 seconds of being on stage, and also how to build material through a problem-solving approach. And this is, Avner is genius at this. He's been doing it for many, many decades, and he has a lot to pass along. So if you haven't worked with Avner before, you haven't met him, you haven't come across him, or even if you have, this is going to be an amazing opportunity. If you don't know about how Clown X works, it's based on a monthly subscription of $39 a month, right? Which, somebody last week described as chicken feed. It is so affordable. And I'm trying to make it this way because, not everyone has the opportunity to come and take workshops and travel and stay places all the time. Or maybe you don't have that kind of thing happening around where you live. So this is a way that you can get access to some of these amazing clown teachers and then maybe get so inspired that you decide to go and travel and work with them. So for $39 a month, you can jump in and take this Clown X masterclass with Avner. And as long as you stay in, you'll be able to take the masterclasses with all the other people who are scheduled. We've got some amazing ones coming up. Moshe Cohen is teaching in April. We've got Olivier Hugues-Theroux in May, Patrick van der Boom in June, Michelle Matlock. And then also coming up later in the year, we've got some amazing teachers. These are the best teachers in the world, the people who are really leaders in this field. Next week, also, I'm going to be doing a special offer on the annual membership. And if you take up an annual membership of Clown X, it works out even cheaper, like $25 per class, effectively. You're getting incredible value here. So I hope you'll all jump in and join me on the next Clown X with Avner. All right. That said, I am super, super excited to welcome this week's guest. And also, I just want to say to you folks who are watching or listening, please join in the chat. We've got a few comments here already from Mike, from David. Jump in there. Let me know where you are in the world, your name, if you have one, what you're doing, what exciting things you're involved with in the clown world. Share, please. And also, whatever questions you have for Petra, for me, comments, thoughts, just chime in the chat. This is a Clown-versation, including the whole community. So dive in, get involved, and also share this, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. That will be wonderful. Okay, so this week I am very fortunate to be able to talk to one of the stars of the British comic stage, and now not even in Britain anymore, but working internationally and at the moment in Las Vegas. Petra Massey is one of the most highly regarded comic performers of her generation. You know, she's got so many highlights and things going on in her career that I couldn't even name them all. She featured in Cirque du Soleil's Zumanity. She starred in BBC comedy sci-fi Hyperdrive as Sandstrom. She's currently hosting Speigelworld's raunchy cabaret show, the Atomic Saloon in Las Vegas, which I mentioned. She was also joint artistic director and performer in the much-loved company Spymonkey, performing classics including Cooped, Stiff, Moby Dick, The Complete Deaths, Christmas Carol, and the list goes on. She also worked with Circus Knie. She's worked with Told by an Idiot, you know, a list of some of the greatest circuses and theatre companies in the world at the moment. So I'm super excited to welcome onto this virtual stage, Petra Massey.
Hello.
Oh, Petra.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm great. I'm doing really, really well. Now, I just introduced you as being in Las Vegas. Can I just check? Is that true?
Yes, it's true. I'm here. Look, I've got glittery wall and everything.
That's the proof.
That is actually a thing from a casino, because they explode. Well, they don't explode casinos anymore, but when they kind of knock them down, they just get rid of stuff. And I think that was on one of the casino walls. I quite like it. Yeah,
that is very cool. Genuine Las Vegas casino on your wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that one of the rules of living in Las Vegas? You have to.
You have to have a bit of glitter somewhere, just a little bit of glitter. That's the cult here.
That reminds me a little bit of Liverpool. You know, when you go and stay in a hotel in Liverpool, there's always this kind of like glamorousness to it. It's sort of a little bit skin deep.
Yes.
There's a lot of shininess and glitter everywhere.
Yeah, that's Liverpool. Well, that's where we met, isn't it? Did we meet?
Well, I'm not sure we met there, but I saw you in doing your show, your wonderful show, The Complete Deaths, at the Everyman.
Okay. Yeah. Love that theatre.
Or was it the Royal Court? I can't remember.
Don't ask me, because I've got no memory. Like, memory cells are gone totally. They never were there anyway in the first place.
So, well, I'm going to ask you a serious question in a minute, but if your memory cells are gone, how do you remember what you're supposed to do when you get on stage? Does it click in then?
Well, I've done about over 1,000 billion shows now, so I've been doing it for nearly 3 years. So, but I do sometimes, when you repeat, this really weird thing happens, because you're doing more or less the same show. You know, it's a script. I mean, there's pockets of places where you can improvise, and every show's different, really, because you have a different audience. But sometimes this thing happens, this sort of, all I can describe is it's like a whitewash, and it's like a cloud that happens. And you just go, what am I doing here? What have I just done? What have I just said? Which scene comes now? Sometimes I just have to say, what's my next line? I don't know where the goddamn hell I am right now. And then I have people that just will feed me a line. So, but I think that happens to everybody that just repeats. Sometimes you just become awash with it, because you're saying, you know, you get into a pattern of saying things as well, which sometimes you just need to snap out of. So I have games that I'll play with my comedy partner, Eli. And, you know, like at some point I'm going to be an animal, and you have to guess which animal I am. So then in a moment where I might suddenly have a moment where I laugh, I'll snort quite loudly in the middle. I mean, it's very obvious, but not obvious to the audience, but obvious to us. With Spymonkey, there was one time we used to pass a carrot around. We had a carrot and we had to play the game pass the carrot. That was with Zumanity, with Cirque du Soleil. But you have to keep it fresh somehow. Whatever you can do, you've got to keep it fresh for yourself, for the audience, for your fellow compadres on the stage. Brilliant. Oh, Maxie, shut up. That's my dog. I might bring her out in here. Is that all right?
Yeah, totally. That's fine.
Sorry.
Bring her in. The more the merrier.
She's got the cone of shame on Maxie. Honestly,
Petra was just mentioning earlier that she's just had some surgery, so the dog is in a little bit of distress. So yes, bring her in, of course.
She can sit here with us.
Yes.
Look, she's got the cone of shame on. Can you see?
Oh, the cone of shame. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's quite
dear.
sad. Yeah.
What do you do with her during shows? Do you have to just leave her?
Well, my partner's here when I'm not doing shows, and I'm just going to tie her up because she's not really supposed to be walking, and so he looks after her when I'm doing shows. And I've got a little boy as well who's totally in love with the dog. We love our animals more than each other, really. We give each other. That's really sad. Maxie, sit. Come, sit. Sorry, guys. This is.
Now I'm going to interview that interesting ceiling grate that's just behind you. Oh no. Oh.
Look, there's Maxie. Just so you know, I'm not lying. That's her cone of shame.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hi, Maxie.
Yeah.
You're famous. You're on TV, kind of.
Okay. Hopefully she'll shut up now.
Oh, Joanna's joined us. Joanna Bassey. Hi, Joanna.
Is she related to Shirley Bassey?
I don't think so, but Leo Bassey.
Oh, and Leo Bassey as well. It depends how you spell it. Is it B-A-S-S-I or B-A-S-S-E-Y?
With the I. Yes.
So it could be Leo.
Yes. I believe there is a family connection. Yes. Avner also, by the way, just wrote to me and said, sorry, I can't make it today to watch you guys, but a virtual hug. Send virtual hugs to Petra.
Can I tell you a story about Avner?
Oh, please.
So where were we? I think we were in Sweden, Uvascular or something like that. And and Avner was there. I'm pretty sure I'll probably get this wrong, but this is the gist of it. And it was amazing. We had these saunas, these amazing, or maybe it was Finnish, maybe it was Finland, but anyway, one of those countries. And we were in this hot sauna, and then you'd go out and jump into this freezing cold lake. And apparently, when you came outside, you had to whip yourself with silver birch because it made all the blood sort of come to the surface of your skin. And Avner, I think it was me, actually, Avner told me that's what I had to do. So I remember chasing Avner around with his lovely, long, glowing sort of silver beard, chasing him around the lake, whipping him to make his blood circulate, and then him jumping in the lake to try and escape from me. That was such a beautiful image of his naked, skinny little body running around, being whipped by me, naked.
I wish we could all see that right now.
No, you don't.
I could see it. We're all imagining it.
I'm now going to take you on a walk because I think my dog's got to pee. So I'm going to walk and talk, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
It's quite annoying.
So can I ask you a question, Petra, while you're doing that?
Yes.
It might be interesting actually to answer the question whilst you're doing that.
Okay.
So do you, because this is a clown-versation.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you identify with that word. Do you see yourself as a clown?
I don't think I did at the beginning. I saw myself as a serious actress, but no one took me seriously. So I ended up not being I tried to do serious acting. Like, that's what I wanted to do, and I still do. So if anybody wants to take me seriously as an actress, then please give me a job. But I got involved with I just love doing comedy. I loved making people laugh. You know, even when I was trying to be serious and people would laugh at me, although at the beginning it was quite hard because people just thought I'm a crap actress and they weren't like really thinking that I was a very good actress, but they for some reason thought I was quite funny because it's like a kid, you know, when a kid tries really, really hard to do something really well and they just get laughed at. So,
and you figured out that was funny so you could use it.
Well, yes. And also being a bit savvy, a bit street aware, I realized that there weren't, at that time as well, there weren't a lot of women in comedy in the stand-up world. More so, if anything, in the clown world, there was a plethora of actresses, you know, and brilliantly talented actresses. So I thought, oh, come on then. Let's swap this around a bit. And I don't think I really had that much choice either, because I would never really have made it as an actress, or just, you know, I just wasn't good enough, really.
But you had the choice to be a performer or not. And being a performer, there was no other option, maybe.
Yeah, but I think of myself, I guess, I mean, you know, I specialize in, I suppose that's what I'm known for because of Spymonkey. But, you know, like we're told by an idiot, I was at the Globe, darling. I did Shakespeare, albeit I was a prostitute again. I'm always typecast as a prostitute. So, you know, I can swing a little bit from clown, from doing some straight-ish acting roles, Shakespeare, you know, and I think clown brilliantly gives you, in some ways, you have to be a good actor to be a clown, actually. That said, because, you know, especially when you're repeating, you've got to keep it fresh. You know, at the moment, I'm repeating a show. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Maxie's doing a poo. Do you want to see? This is really good. This is really, really good.
This is brilliant. This is the most exciting conversation I think we've ever had.
But this is, oh, it stinks. She hasn't done a poo for like 4 days because she's just come out of this operation, and that's I'm really thankful. You must have brought it on, Barnaby.
I did. It was my special clown poo power.
Yes,
clown poo energy.
Well, that's good. She's not going to be so. I literally got a computer in my hand walking around the garden. Okay, we're going to go in now, Max. Come on, that's it. Go and look at your poo, and then we'll go off. No, that's really good. I can concentrate more, and I knew that's what she wanted to do.
Yeah, she's satisfied now. She's got it out.
She's done it. Okay, where were we? Sorry about that.
You were saying you've got to keep it fresh, you know, and you're doing this show at the moment. Where how many do you do a week? How many shows do you do?
At the beginning, when I first started, I was doing 10 shows a week, and I had 1 day off. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm not going to last. I'm just not going to, because I'm quite old now. And
aren't we all?
Well, you know, and I was climbing. Oh God, she's doing another. Oh no, it's a wee. And she was. I'm climbing up poles and doing Irish dancing and all this sort of physical theatre stuff. 10 shows a week, and I'm the lead in this show. And I was a bit. Oh, you know, I'd actually just signed up for a year, so I was quite thankful for that. And then bloody COVID struck.
Oh, right.
Then I had 13 months unpaid furlough. So then I was, anyway, I won't go into all of that. So basically now, thankfully, I'm on 8 shows a week, and I have 4 days on and 3 days off. And Speigelworld, fantastic company, because they really understand about how performers have to kind of refuel and not, you know, just be banging out shows over and over and over again, because then you just get exhausted and burnt out. And they really understand about giving people proper time off, which is really good. So now I feel like I'm actually starting to do other things now. You know, I'm starting to teach in LA a little bit and do work on other stuff, because I've got the headspace to do it, which is a wonderful position to be in, because I need to make and create again, really. And
what are you interested in creating?
Well, I'm sort of putting these sort of solo numbers together. I'm calling them sholos, so they're little show solos. And maybe eventually I've got these 4 characters, and then maybe eventually sort of string them together in some way. But my biggest thing on my bucket list that I really want to do is be in a horror movie. That's what I'm pitching for. And I had my parents, who sadly are both dead now, and I kind of want to honor their wishes. Is that when I was born, they said that they called me Ratty, and they said that I had the face for horror, and that's how they would introduce me as a baby to people, because I was really pink with little ratty eyes and a lot of black hair, and they call me Ratty Baby, and that's always been the family joke. So now they've both gone, I'm going to honor their memory of me and try and get in a horror movie. That's what I want to do more than anything. So I want to explore horror more.
That's your mission.
That's my mission.
Or perhaps you should try just kind of try on the character, create sort of a horror costume, and just kind of go out into the streets and see if you can scare people. Yes, I mean, I can be quite terrifying. I do think I've got comedy and horror really interesting. The timing of it. We've done a little bit of it with Spymonkey. We did something with the brilliant Professor Vanessa. Humlin, you know Vanessa, and she got us to do what's called a spook show, and we did this with John Nicholson from People Like Us, and it was so much fun. We did it in I think it was the Winter Garden, which is the Matcham building, the amazing Matcham buildings. And we did it in there because it was the only place we could have complete blackout, because we wanted it, because, normally you have to have exit signs and stuff. So they're illuminated. And we did this show, and I was playing this character that I'd come up with called, what was her name? I think something Benedict von Essen and Trinken. And I was very sort of sadomasochist, all in black leather and a whip, just sort of dominatrix kind of thing. It's typecasting again.
Eh?
Typecasting again.
Typecasting, I know. Dominic von Essen and Trinken, that was it. And at one point, quite early on in the show, there was a complete blackout, which we wanted. And it was a kind of immersive show. So we had this group of people. And there was a point where Aitor flashes a torch everywhere, and then these little scary thing happens. And then I get changed, and I put this little red duffel coat on from Don't Look Now. And then there's a moment when I turn around, and and I look like a little girl, and he flashes a torch on me, and I do this like that, and he flashes a torch on me, and then suddenly a rat comes out of nowhere, and it goes onto my face, and I scream. And then suddenly I'm screaming, and then someone else is screaming. And this guy fainted. He actually fainted at the sight of my face and the fear. And it's a big guy, and it was from, it was Blackpool. And this woman.
Oh, the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Yeah.
Yeah, this woman was shouting, quickly, my husband, my husband, my husband. But everyone thought it was part of the show. Yeah. And we knew it wasn't. But within half an hour, I was so proud that this guy from Blackpool fainted at seeing my face, and then we had to sort of stop the show, but people really thought it was part of the show. So that has really spurred me on to get into horror. I really strongly believe I can be terrifying.
I don't really know whether to take you seriously or not.
No, please take me seriously. That's the problem. No one takes me seriously.
It's something about the way you say it. It's kind of everything you say sounds a little bit too
sarcastic.
Sincere. Yeah.
I know, but that's just my Essex way. That's just how I am. It's just Essex.
Yeah, like you could say, Barnaby, I think what you're doing is so amazing. And I'd be like, shut up.
It is amazing, though. You are clownfluencer.
So what I want to know is, you have got to this point in your career where it seems like, when you go onto stage, like you must be able to command that space when you go out there with the Atomic Saloon show. You're doing it 8 times a week.
Yeah.
You must be able to ride the waves of what's happening in the audience, what's happening in the show, and make it work every single time.
Interesting you say that. I just had Cal McChrystal is here at the moment, and our designer, costume designer, set designer, Takis. And he's seen the show again, and he directed this show, and he hasn't seen it for a while. And Takis hasn't seen it since it opened, and he said to me, "You're really owning the space." That's one thing he said, and I do feel that, but that has not been the case. When I first started, and I was saying this to Takis, it was quite interesting challenge for me, because I've been used to working with my beautiful Spymonkeys for the last 25 years. And one of my clown sort of ridiculousnesses is always wanting to be the star of the show, but never being allowed, because Toby was always the star of the show and he would never allow me to be the star. So that was very much my clown, thing. And then suddenly I was placed as being the star of this show, and I didn't have Spymonkey, and I have a brilliant preacher that I play with, who's my comedy partner. But suddenly I was kind of almost the straight person as well as the comedian in the show and the host. So it really made me very nervous. And I don't think I was very good at the beginning. I think it has taken me quite a long time. Because I'm playing the madam and very high status, I started to play that high status and I was way too aggressive. And I didn't need to be aggressive. And it was actually this brilliant clown, Jonathan and Anne, and Jonathan just said to me, you don't have to play the high status, you already are. You can soften it up a lot more. So that's what I've done over the time, is really soften her and make her a lot more playful. I was just a bit lost at the beginning. I was really lost. I was lost without my monkeys. It was really like, look, I've got a picture on my wall. I can show you. This is what I got when I first arrived here. I'm so sad. I saw this picture in a thrift store, which is like the equivalent of a, and I saw, can you see
Charity
that?
shop.
Charity shop. So it's just a monkey, a really sad monkey all on her own.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. That's
how I felt. So, and I still feel a bit like that, if I'm honest. I feel like I'm missing my arms and my legs. Well, I'm missing my heart. That's what I'm missing.
And now Spymonkey seems to be going in a different direction in terms of what Toby and Ita are kind of doing. Do you think you might work with them again?
If they'll have me, I would love to. I would jump at the chance. I mean, I'm still part of Spymonkey. I'll always be part of Spymonkey. We co-founded it together. Barnaby, the roots grow so deep. I've never had a friendship and working relationship like it. It's just, what we've been through together. I mean, I was thinking about this before we had our Clown-versation, because I knew this would come up. But, we've spent more Christmases and birthdays together than we have with our own partners. And we've spent more time together, intimate time together, than I have done with anyone in my life. And that never goes, that strength, that root, that sort of camaraderie will never go away, as far as I'm concerned. And I felt I was so torn, so completely torn, leaving for Las Vegas. But I was actually only supposed to be here for a year. And when the pandemic hit, everything changed for so many people, including myself and my family. And then security became at the very, I've always been a big risk taker, and suddenly security, having a kid, went to the top of my, my what I need to be doing right now.
You and I are both expats living in the USA, and I don't know about me, but you've done a really good job of keeping your English accent.
Yes, well, so have you. Are you in the US now?
Yeah, I'm in Oregon.
I thought you were in Vegas. Oh, you're in Oregon. What's that like?
It's beautiful. I have this lovely view of a mountain out of my window.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a little bit like the UK in terms of wet.
Yes.
Cool and wet. So
Yeah. No, I've heard lots of good things about Oregon.
But Shannon is in Las Vegas as well, right?
Shannon's in Las Vegas. She is at the moment resident director of Atomic, and also one of my brilliant swings. So she swings in for me as Boozy.
Oh, very cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, she's so great. And Cal, and I saw that Cal is doing some auditions for a new show.
So he's doing a show at Atlantic City, and Shannon is going to be his assistant director. And he's looking for acts at the moment. So get your CVs over to him. I think it's going to be
I was going to say that this is maybe a good place to sort of put that information out. And I just saw it today. I think if you probably go to his Facebook page, you'll see that the details of what they're looking for. I think no aerial, no juggling, I think was what I remember.
Oh,
but
okay.
any other kind of novelty act.
Yes. And there's another guy, there's jobs as galore at the moment. So there's another guy called Matt Morgan who's looking for speciality acts as well. So he's doing a night, but you've got to be sort of living in America for that, I suppose. But yeah, and my friend Amy Misbehave is looking for all sorts of people to go on her cruise ship for Virgin Atlantic. So that's another one. So Misbehave, Amy Misbehave, Cal McChrystal, and Matt Morgan. So look those up, jobs. Maybe
after this, I can get some of the details from you and write them down, and then I can put them out on the Facebook group. So it's kind of it feels like this is a bit of a renaissance of clowning happening in circus.
Could be. I mean, God, it needs it. It needs a big old shake up. It's been pretty desperate for the last few years since, you know, our friend the pandemic came. But
but even in general, like in the States, clowning, you know, doesn't have an easy time, does it?
No. And I'm just sort of starting to make a relationship with the Elysian Theatre, which was absolutely lovely. I went and did this thing called a clown jam, and I ended up totally taking over and bossing everybody about, clown boss, and doing this sort of guest directing, teaching. And then I did a little spot there as well, did a little, not improvised, but a kind of, I threw a character out there. And I'm hoping that I will be able to come back on a more regular basis and do taster workshops there. But they're really thirsty for it. And they were so good. They were ready. It just seems everyone seems to be really primed. And I think all sorts of people have been carving the way for that, like, you know, Dr. Brown and Spymonkey and Mooks and, you know, all sorts of people that, you know, it's not the red nose, big flower shoes clowning that you know, that's has its own absolutely its own merit. But this is a different style of clowning, which is just celebrating your own ridiculousness and your own humanity.
So tell us more about that, Petra. Like what is clowning for you, and how do you nurture that when you're teaching?
I really think that the funniest thing about you is you. That's so it's not about putting on characters, and I mean you can do that later on, but when you're just doing the bare raw essential, starting to find out about what it is that makes you funny, and that is your own. And when I use these words, they're like accolades. They're not put downs. But your stupidity, your ridiculousness, your vulnerability, your love, you know, how you love, and what is unique about you. And it's putting that, and that's hard because we spend most of our lives, and your failures, you know, celebrating your failures, because we spend most of our lives being told, you know, you have to be a success, you've got to be good at this, you've got to try really hard, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And actually clown is all about the opposite of that, trying your hardest but celebrating your failures. And we try, and that's why we always play this game Mr. Hit, because it's a game where it really confuses the student. You know Mr. Hit, so it's basically a game of Mr. Hit, of it, and that's our fodder for, you know, we always use that sometimes before, like for every clown class we'll do it, master class, and then also, you know, sometimes before shows, and so basically it puts the student in a state of complete confusion, so they can't think anymore, because people tend to overthink things or go out and think, oh, I've got this brilliant idea and I'm going to go and say this idea and say this funny thing, and then it's going to flop. So this allows you to flop, but flop in a really brilliant way, because we see that person, we see the humanity and the vulnerability of that person when they're in a state of confusion. And it's a very, very simple but absolutely genius game, and we can play that for hours. We're really, really good at it, but we can play it really fast now, but we still fail, and that's what's so brilliant.
Have you played it where you pass a ball around at the same time and it's like the ball is independent of the game? So it really confuses things.
Yes, that's an extra layer of it. Yeah. That's an extra layer.
Because as you say, you get better at all these kinds of games. You get better at them, and then you stop making so many mistakes. So you have to find ways to kind of make it harder, so you trip up.
Oh yeah, then you can start to get really outrageous. Then I mean, I've been known to pull my pants down in order to put people off, so that I get to win the game. I will do anything that it takes to try and win the game. The thing is now, because I've played it with Spymonkey so often, what I do is I call out Aitor, Toby, or Stefan, and they're not even in the room, and then I deal with that because I'm so used to just playing it with them.
I think it's the funniest is when people call their own name.
Oh yes,
happens a lot.
Yeah. Then you lose a life.
And yeah, you're right. It just creates these wonderful clown moments over and over again, doesn't it? Of like the moment when you say the thing and then you realize that it's a mistake, and you can kind of see that all that almost in slow motion, that like, trying to go back in time and kind of capture the mistake. And
but that's when we see the person. That's when we see the person, and you know how, because you can play it with some people and they get so angry that they're not getting it right, but that could be their clown. That could be a very funny clown just in itself. So you just use what people naturally give you to start seeing a way forward to how to sort of give direction and help with finding their way with the clown. And we always start with Mr. Hit. And usually you can also see within playing that game where the statuses are within the group as well. The person that actually gets it right all the time is usually quite high status. The person that gets it wrong all the time, the person that gets angry, the person that shies away from doing it, and you just have all of these different personalities. The person that cries, there's always a crier, because it's very vulnerable making. It's, to say you're going to come out and make us laugh, usually to a whole bunch of people you don't know, is excruciating. But I always say it's not genocide. It's just a clown game. I know that's a bit heavy. It's a bit heavy, but it's not. It's just, just trying to give a bit of perspective.
I like that. Folks watching, please. I think they're in a state of trance right now, Petra, fascinated by your words, and so they're not sending in their questions. But please, we'd love to take your questions. So bring up that chat and throw in whatever curiosity.
Maybe there's no one there, Barnaby. Maybe there's just no one there.
There's lots of people there. They're ask
me a question. It doesn't have to be about clowning. It could be about my love life. Whatever. Or your love life.
Yeah, so you could ask for some advice on your love life.
Yeah, defo.
Petra will provide comic.
I'll provide, I can do I can do star signs, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm Capricorn. What does that say about me?
You like ramming it. Is that right? Are you a ram? Does that mean you're a ram? Is it? Is that rude? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
High status, anyway. High status. Yeah, I'm like you. I like to win when I'm playing that game.
Oh, do you? I'd love to play with you one day. That would be great.
I would love to play with you as well. Let's make that happen.
And Spymonkey were really bad. We used to really genuinely hit, give each other dead arms and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And really get hard with each other. Yeah, that I used to like that. It was just rough play, rough and tumble.
I think it's fun when you're playing with a new group that hasn't played it before, and it's really easy to win. And you just
yes, exactly.
You win every time.
Yeah. But that's not what you're supposed to do as a teacher, though, Barnaby. You're supposed to giving. Yeah, it's not all about you and all about you winning. That's the only reason why you teach, isn't it? You just
right. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to. Yes. On second thoughts, perhaps I better not play with you because
no, that would be a battle.
Yeah, definitely. Groundskeeper Wilkie. I don't know who you are apart from Groundskeeper Wilkie, but Groundskeeper Wilkie says, "How your love life?
How is my love life?
Well,
it's right. It's steady.
It just says how your love life.
How your love life. How your love life. My love life is you know, it's steady. I've been with the same person for nearly 30 years now.
Brilliant.
And I love him. But, you know, we're like, yeah, like we're not old married couple yet, but I can see us going there. It's like, come on, let's put a bit of spice in this. Come on, not having this. But it's,
your problem is that you already live in Las Vegas. Most people go to Las Vegas for the spice. And you're already there.
Well, you know what, Barnaby? I've just become a wedding officiant and I can marry people now. And I want to find out if I can remarry me and my partner, if I can sort of do a marriage. But I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, marry myself.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, groundskeeper Wilkie, how's your love life? Throwing it back.
Throwing it back. Tell us, groundskeeper. Groundskeeper also asks, funniest thing you've done.
Oh God. Is that
deliberately?
Yeah, is that in shows or outside of shows?
It sort of sounds like just
in shows. Let's keep it in shows because then it's that's Cal. That's Cal McChrystal. Shall I answer it?
Yeah, you could. Sure, why not? You can say hi to Cal.
Callus.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm in the middle of an interview and it's called Clown-versation and you're on it now. Shall I give you a call back later?
Yeah. So I just want to ask you a quick question.
Hi, Cal.
Hey there. How's it going?
Good. That's Barnaby. He's interviewing me.
Yeah, I heard him. Brilliant. Barnaby, don't believe a word you said. Now, Petra, are you in the show on Sunday night? Because I'm coming and I don't want to see that.
Yes, I'm in Sunday night.
Okay, all right.
In fact, that's when all the Zumanity lot are coming. They're coming on the 7:30 show.
On the Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. All right, thanks. I'll see you later. I'll come around about like 3:30 or something.
Okay. I love you.
Good interview.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Right, that's good.
I keep having these like close shaves with Cal. Cal was on Clown-versation one time.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. But then I bumped into him at Gifford Circus last summer.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
Yeah, amazing. So there's a great question here, which was something I wanted to ask you about. Pet, you glorious idiot. Abigail here. Tell us about clowning and nudity, because you do seem to get naked quite a lot.
Is that Elsa? Is that Elsa who I know? Abigail's Elsa. It is Elsa. Oh my God, she's brilliant. She's like amazing champion skier. Wow, I love her. All right. Oh no, it's Abigail. It's not Elsa, it's Abigail. Okay.
But it says Elsa, maybe Abigail's on Elsa's account.
Yes, I think so. Elsa is her kid. Why is she asking me that? She knows all about it. She gets naked all the time. Abigail, I'm not giving you my secrets. Okay, I'm going to tell her the story about clowning and nudity, and that's interesting. Cal just called because the first time when we put shows together with Cal, Spymonkey, Cal would always say to us, "What's the thing that you've always wanted to do on stage?" That's how we would start shows. What's the thing that you've always wanted to do on stage? And one of us, I think it was me, because I like to always give myself the glory, said that I want to get naked on stage. That's what I would like to do. So we were in, I can't remember, the BAC or somewhere like that, and Cal got us all to be naked. And we were all hiding because we'd never got naked in front of each other before. And we'd been with each other for about 5 years, something like that. I mean, not a huge amount of time, but we were all hiding behind the curtains. And I remember Toby had a guitar covering his willy. He came out playing a guitar and we'd all come out really, it was really excruciating. And then we had a discussion about it. And Cal just said, I don't know how I can make this funny. He said, you're so vulnerable. And it's like, where do you go? Once you've got naked, where do you go from there? And then we started to explore it more and more and more. And we decided quite early on that Toby didn't have a comedy body. So he wasn't allowed to get naked because back then he was quite fit, not so much anymore. He didn't have a funny body and he didn't particularly have a funny willy either. I know that sounds odd, but
it was conventional.
It was like standard baked bean tin willy kind of thing. Whereas Aitor, I mean, I'm going to be graphic. Aitor had like massive cojones in this tiny little worm. And Stefan just had like a flap of skin. That's what it looked like. So they had comedy willies and comedy bodies. Even though Stefan was fit as, he had a comedy. Aitor, bless him. He just stands on stage and he's hysterical.
Yeah.
And very hairy. And I had a comedy body. So I was really pleased about that. A little stumpy comedy body. And then eventually we decided to do Love Sounds the Alarm, which is this. And the setup of it was so brilliant, you know, where Toby comes out and it's an Love Sounds the Alarm. It's a kind of aria. Is it an aria? I don't know. In an area. And he wears a naked suit. So he's kind of a bit Adam and Eve. But the clowns get the wrong end of the stick and they come out and they go, oh, he's naked. And then they go out and Toby has a little fig leaf covering his, you know, but he's in an actual beige suit and they come out completely naked and their fig leaf is just beautifully not quite hiding what they should be hiding. And then they go for it in this. And it's classic clown because they do the best possible sort of balletic dance routine that they could, but with their balls hanging down. And it's, if I was to say what's the funniest thing you've ever done on stage, then that answers that question, because then I come out and I see the boys naked and I just take all my clothes off and just run around naked. And it was just the most freeing, delightful thing, I think, and funny thing I've ever done. And then there's a moment where the interval happens and then Toby's into the next part, you know, naked number's done, but we end on the naked number. So it's a really big sort of ridiculous rush of energy. And then Toby's in the middle of doing the next scene. And then I knock on the door. I come out stark bollock naked because my knickers are still on the floor. I come out stark naked, really straight, and just go, and then pick up my knickers and go, sorry, and then walk out again. And that's one of my funniest moments, I think, because it is just so innocent and joyous and childlike and naughty and outrageous and all the things that I love about theatre.
Yes. It sounds like you just you're in it just because it's so much pleasure and joy and
I love it. I still love performing. I wasn't sure if I could pull out 10 shows a week, but it's the joy of performing. And even when I'm at my most tired, it still happens. I see the audience and it's like, boomba, playtime, you know, and I just feel so honoured to be in this position where I can still go out and make people laugh and hopefully pull off a good show. And what an amazing job. I still pinch myself thinking that I actually get paid for this. You know, it's become my bread and butter. Well, it has for years, but you know, I've been doing it for a long time, and I don't intend ever to stop. I want to perform. My idea is to still perform when I'm 80, 85 in a bikini with a little wrinkled up face, but hopefully my body will still be really strong and fit. So I've got a really fit body, but a really old wrinkly face, and do really disgusting old stand up with sort of smelling of piss.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. And I kind of want to go back to this question about, you know, what is clown and how to develop it? Because a lot of people are watching who are kind of not where you're at necessarily. They're not performing regularly, or they're maybe wanting to or not, but they're wanting to sort of develop and evolve in their clown and explore this territory. So what, you know, because there's lots of different directions you can go in, right? And you can take workshops, you can take courses, you can train, or you can just kind of, a lot of people on Clown-versations, particularly of an older generation, talk about how they just really learned their trade on the street, you know, like Avner and people like that. They just were years and years just working the street to kind of learn the trade. What advice would you give to people who are just starting out now?
Well, that's how I learned, you know, I was a street performer in Covent Garden. That's how I started, really. My professional, you know, like going out and then getting booked for festivals and making my own acts. That's how it started for me, which was really good because I'd been making make-believe and making things since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I'd put on shows in our local village hall when I was about 6 with all my gang of kids, and in Packlesham, in this little village in Essex. And I started creating very, very young. And I realized that's like almost, it sounds a bit up your ass to say, but that was like the beginning of it. It's just making characters and coming up with stuff myself. And then, you know, I ended up going and doing a BA. I wanted to go to drama school. I'd auditioned for Central, RADA, all of those big ones. They weren't having any of it. I did get into some drama schools, but I decided to do Middlesex Poly because it gave you a degree and you could teach with that. And and actually it was quite good, Middlesex, because they were really quite instrumental in people having their own creative bent, like, you know, Told by an Idiot. Paul and Haley came from Middlesex, and Phelan McDermott and Improbable Theatre, a lot of them, Spymonkey, you know, I was there, and all sorts of other companies. And that gave you this freedom because you'd already sort of done a little bit of your own groundwork. So, you know, clown is play, and it's just that. It's playing. It's coming up with stupid ideas and then getting them out there and putting them in front of an audience and daring and risking. And then I would always suggest doing a workshop, and I'd always suggest doing it with Aitor or Toby with Spymonkey. Also, Lucy Hopkins is amazing. And Shannon Calcott, and Cal doesn't really do workshops anymore. Avner, you know, depending, each one of those teachers are very different. I would say Aitor is the closest to Philippe Gaulier, and obviously to Philippe, who is the clown guru. So, and that would then, you would understand more and about whether you want to go in that direction. But it's like, it can take you into all different directions. I mean, with Lucy Hopkins, I mean, she is clown, but she's so taken it in her own direction. And she's taken the form and developed her own way and developed her own teaching method. And I think that's really important. So you're not just a cookie cutter of other clown companies or what other people do, but you use them. You use people as a kind of influence or somewhere to start to think, oh, well, that's the direct. Because for me, my mentors were Theatre de Complicité, who, you know, I remember me and my friend Charlotte going to see them at the Almeida Theatre, and we were just like, that's what I want to do. That is what I want to do. And, you know, I wouldn't say Spymonkey are very different from Theatre de Complicité, but we are in the same realm. I've always been very physical. I've always been very athletic, and that I want to use my body. The way I learn lines is I can only learn lines through getting them in my body, if that makes sense. And usually I still don't remember them.
Hence the what's my line? What's my next line?
My goddamn line. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask you, this character in this Atomic Saloon show, is it are you able to break character ever? Is it clown in that sense, or is it very much like this is who you are for the audience?
Well, no, not really. I mean, we explored that, and the guy that I was working with before, Damien Warren Smith, he would break. That was his shtick. He would break from doing an American accent preacher into a Australian accent, and he would just kind of crash the whole acting sort of that's very much his territory. But because I'm leading the show and carrying I think if I was to break it, I think it would disappoint the audience. I think in some way it would because they wouldn't believe it anymore. And my accent's so bad as well. I don't know how people actually believe that I'm American. I just say that I've traveled all around the world, god damn it. You know, it's that bad. Cal at the beginning, Cal wouldn't allow me to do an American accent because it was so bad. He made me do it in English.
Did you get some coaching, or it's just improved over time?
No, how he did it, and it was really interesting, is he made me do it as me. So I found what it is that was funny as me, and then because my accent was just really cod, It was a cod accent, and now it's got much more gravitas. And also, I like to mimic a little bit my sort of idols of kind of, you know, Joan Crawford, or I take on different voices of movies and stuff like that. So Scarlett O'Hara, you know, I tap into like the different lilts, the different cadences of the American accents. God, I'm so academic and intelligent.
Very subtle. Yeah, I'm so impressed.
Right. Yeah. I only just heard that word recently, cadence. Now I use it all the time.
Cadence, darling. Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, Petra, this has been so much fun talking to you. And I feel like I've learned so much. I'm just wondering if anybody, we do have about 5 minutes left, and if anybody has any burning questions, this is sort of your moment to throw them out.
Oh God, it's going to be excruciatingly silent now.
It might be, which I will fill because I'm very awkward with silence. Or we could just sit here and just
stare at each other. We could try and play Mr. Hit. Would that work?
Yeah. Okay. Petra.
No, you lost because that was not quick enough.
Oh, that was too. Well, that was the delay. Petra.
No, it's too late. You lost. That's 2 lives. You've only got 1 life left.
Petra.
No, it's too late. That's it. You've lost. I've won. Brilliant.
I'm going to hide underneath my green screen.
Oh, wow. That's so brilliant. How do you do that? Can you talk like that? Oh, that's good.
You see, now I can be, I can actually be one of these clowns who I so admire.
Oh, I love that.
There I am with Nola.
You are. Go with Spymonkey. Be the other person on the Spymonkey thing.
Well, I'd have to make myself very small or the picture very big somehow.
Oh no, it's falling off.
Petra, what are you making me do? I've never done something like this before in a conversation.
He's melting. He's melting. He's gone.
I'm still here.
He's still there. Bless you.
See, things are falling down because I lost.
You asked me a question. You asked me a question. If no one else is going to ask me, you ask me one.
I'm hitting you now. Yeah, you lost.
No, the game's over. No, it's over. We stopped. See, I'm so bossy.
Wait a minute. Who's making up the rules here? 2 bossy British people in America. It's a bad combination.
Why are you in Oregon anyway?
Well, because I came here in 2004. Came to Portland with my show, Flawed Genius, which is my solo clown show.
Right.
And I was touring. And I came to Portland and I took this workshop with a guy called Scott Kelman, who's a brilliant improvisation teacher. And one of the people in his class seemed like the most amazing person in the world. And I ended up marrying her.
American?
Yeah.
Well done.
Molly.
Oh, that's so good. So
yeah,
how's your love life? How long have you been with Molly for?
Not as long as you, but 15. Right. Well, hang on. Almost 20 years, I guess. We met almost 20 years ago, and we've been married about 16 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm where you are. You know, we try to go away as much as possible. We have 2 kids.
From each other.
We have, I mean, together.
Oh, right.
You know, kids are a drag on love life.
Yeah, they kill relationships. I would never advise it.
Yeah, it's a joy and a curse.
A
blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
They are absolutely delightful, but they're not good for me emotionally. Well, maybe they are good for me emotionally. In fact, this is an interesting thing. I was just watching Avner's Clown-versation that I did with him maybe over a year ago, and he was talking about the essence of clown for him, which is interesting given what you said, is about problem solving. It's all about problem solving. It's like you have a problem, you get curious about the problem, and then you find the solution to the problem, or you don't, and you go back to problem solving again.
Yeah.
And he said the curiosity is also the perfect attitude for any problem in life. So if you're having relationship problems or your children are being difficult, whatever problem presents itself, if you bring this attitude of, oh, that's interesting. Oh.
Yeah.
You know, instead of an emotional response, you have a, you get interested, you get curious.
Yeah, so you see it a bit, you take a back step and see it. That Avner, he's got a very engineering way of looking at clowning, I would say. That's like an engineer clown.
Yes.
Isn't it? Like critical thinking.
It's quite different, and it's interesting. It's the in a way, it's the American circus clown gag-based approach versus the character-based, which is kind of more Lecoq European style, where the character is really the thing you're laughing at. I think with him, he's got a great character, but it's really all about the timing and the breath, the timing of the gag and the physicality.
Right. The technique,
which he's brilliant at. Before you go, would you like to tell us who you're stroking back there?
So this is Mookie. Oh no, that's Mookie. Mookie gave me this cushion so that I could sit on her face as much as possible. So there's Mookie. And then
Mookie.
This is my son, Richard. There. And that's Bonnie, who's my godchild, who's coming over here quite soon. Yeah. And
that's definitely in English. That scene is definitely England.
Yes, mock Tudor houses.
Very distinct. They're very distinctive. Yeah.
So Richard was that age when he came over to Las Vegas. He was 6, and he's nearly 11 now. Yeah.
My girls are 11 and 9, so I'm right there.
Oh, really? Oh. Would you ever come to Vegas, Barnaby?
Would I? Did you say, or do
have
I?
You? Would you? Because then you come and see the show, and then our kids can play.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, should we do it?
Yeah, definitely.
I can meet Molly.
It's a date. I would love to see the show.
All right, I'll sort you out. I'll sort you out with free tickets.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Pleasure. Least I can do.
That's why I do this Clown-versations, to get free stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're a clown-fluencer.
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
You fluenced me.
Well, Petra, thank you so much. I think we should wrap up, even though we could just keep bantering and sparring all day.
Yes, thank you.
I will just try one more time to win, Mr. Hit.
Okay, no, but we've stopped the game. Stop the game. Go on, do it one more time. Do it one more time. Do it one more time. Barnaby! 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 You know you can't actually play Mr. Hit with 2 people, though, don't you? Because that's the most ridiculous thing ever. You're an idiot.
So we both lose. Because it was your idea.
Yeah, it was my idea. And you were really slow and I was really fast. So actually, I think more, if anything, I think you lose. I think.
No, I don't know. I feel like we need an arbitration here. We need a judge, an external judge. So
all right.
Maybe folks at home, tell us who you think has won.
Yeah. The clown spirit. Who's won? No one's coming back to us, are they?
Right. Because of course you're the guest, so you have to win. That's the thing.
It's true. But I know that we're going to finish this conversation and I'm going to leave and then you're going to go, I won. Just to yourself. I know that's the sort of thing that you would do, isn't it?
No.
Yes, it is. You're competitive. I can see.
Oh, Drew says Petra won. Right. Fine. You win on all fronts. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Hope
Drew.
it feels good.
Love you, Drew.
Hate you, Drew.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Petra. I'll see you in Las Vegas.
Brilliant. Can't wait. You've got my details and I will sort you out with tickets. I promise. Well, not the whole family because it's not for kids show.
Okay. Got it.
Right. Bye. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, Petra. And I did win. I definitely did win. We can't hear you now, Petra. It's just me. They can't hear you. I can't hear you. They can't hear you. Petra, it was delightful talking to you. Thank you so much. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in again. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, Pandora, Drew, Joanna, Elsa, Abigail, Groundskeeper, all the people. Thank you so much. Don't forget to sign up for Avner's Clown X, which is going to be on March 5th. You can sign up right now using this link. Here it is. go.clownspirit.com/clownx. You can go there and you can sign up to be in Avner's class on the 5th of March. Thank you so much. Next week, I'm actually going to be with Avner in a Clown-versation as well. So we're going to be talking next week. And then I have Toby. Toby is coming up in a couple of weeks, who Petra was just talking about. Julia Proctor. Who else do I have coming up? Oh, lots of amazing people. I might even be talking to Dario Fo's son, Jacobo Fo, in a few weeks, which is going to be very cool and exciting. So thanks so much for joining me for another Clown-versation, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And of course, as always, keep clowning.